Border Force officers have stopped a young woman returning from Mexico for a bag search, and they are surprised when she immediately tells them she is carrying narcotics for personal use.
After examination of her, we found small amounts of cocaine, small amounts of amphetamine.
As officers become aware that the woman is travelling with her boyfriend, who they locate in the passenger hall and escort to an interview room for a bag search.
Passenger is pretty cool, pretty calm. He's just sort of sitting back, just answering questions politely. We found 3 bottles of champagne in the passenger's bag, and we'll take them away for further testing and see where we go from there.
And it's come up positive for cocaine.
Liquefying narcotics to smuggle them across borders is a method used by drug cartels. But if these bottles do contain cocaine, it's a very sophisticated concealment.
I haven't seen liquid cocaine like this. It's normally tampered with, the seals are tampered with, but this one's not, so we'll wait and see.
One of the bottles is open so the liquid inside can be tested, and officers finally spot a small sign that something may be up.
This appears like there's plastic.
It's plastic.
It's plastic, it looks like glad wrap.
It's the first indication of possible tampering, but it's not the only one.
Okay, so there's no pop at all.
A sample of the liquid will now be tested, as officers are still unsure what they are dealing with.
It still kind of looks like champagne. It
Smells like
champagne.
A first offender test should give them a definitive answer.
If it's cocaine or champagne.
Ready?
Go.
And the results are almost immediate.
Yeah, cocaine. It's positive cocaine.
A secondary test is carried out to confirm the results.
Yep, same thing. Cocaine.
The bottles contain pure liquid cocaine, and close inspection of the label reveals this concealment is no accident.
For Australian from Rosebery.
Okay.
So he's taking it over with him.
He's taking it with him.
All the evidence will now be documented, and the Australian Federal Police are called to deal with both the male and female passengers.
The female has been given a court attendance notice today for the small personal stash of cocaine and dexamphetamine that we found on her possession. So she's been released pending the court attendance notice.
The man is now arrested and taken into custody by the Australian Federal Police.
Yeah, we've been here a couple of hours. He has a multitude of plastic bags, and each plastic bag we have to undo because he has something like this in it.
This sets the record. This is the most time it's ever taken. That one, mate? It's a beet, half of a beet. You just take some scissors and shave it off, and it's as good as new.
Yeah.
Uncooked, rotting vegetables are only the beginning of the bizarre collection of goods this man has brought with him. There are empty drink bottles, a bag of hay, and dozens of plastic bags, each containing a small food item.
Why do you keep a little bit of everything, mate? It's quite unusual. Like a handful of popcorn, why not just eat it and buy some the next place you go to?
Well, I mean, maybe sometimes I pack like little snack kits, like for a walk or something, and you know, like 3 dates exactly, right?
3
like
dates.
yeah. Hey, that'll do the job.
As the search continues, the passenger realises he might be in for a long wait, so he decides to make himself comfortable. But he is feeling optimistic about his visit to Australia.
Well, I've just wanted to come for some time, and this is finally the chance to come, and hey, it's off to a good start. Left out of Seattle and then went to Japan and Taiwan, Philippines and Brunei, and just came from Indonesia today.
But he's not carrying the usual travel souvenirs, and checking it all is a huge job for officers.
Yeah, we've been here a couple of hours. It's purely because he has a multitude of plastic bags, and each plastic bag we have to undo because he has something like this in it. So each item has to be checked because in Australia we are very strict with what comes into the country. So yeah, we're going to take our time and make sure that we get it all.
You get 1,000 little bags again, huh? All foodstuffs?
No, these are all dried plants.
These are all dried plants?
Yeah.
Some of the food items and plant material the man is carrying could contain pests and diseases, and most of it will not be allowed to enter the country. But it doesn't end there.
What is that? Spicy, fragrant condiments.
Spices, sauces, and what he claims is olive oil in a used water bottle are added to the pile, as the passenger, Stephen, says they are all necessary.
Anything from, you know, if I get stuck in a hotel room for days at a time, which does happen sometimes, you know, I'll carry this lightweight pot here, and I normally have a little hot plate to cook this on. You never know when you're going to get stuck in a hotel room for 2 or 3 days by yourself, and you know, why not just have everything you need, or live in the bush for 2 or 3 days at a time.
It seems he has packed almost everything he needs for any situation that might pop up.
What do you? These are empty alcohol bottles. What do you want with them? You want to keep them?
Well, I use them for perfumes sometimes.
Okay.
Officers must inspect and assess every item. And this well-travelled passenger is a little surprised.
Once in a while they go through it, you know. It actually happens more or less when I get back to the U.S. from these trips. Matter of fact, this sets the record. This is the most time it's ever taken.
While inspecting his luggage, Border Force officers are also assessing the passenger's visa status, and they need to check how he is funding his stay. If he doesn't have enough money, then he may find himself heading back to the States sooner than he planned.
I've been able to confirm now that he receives money from some sort of beneficiary, and that is how he travels around the world.
With sufficient funds and a return ticket, officers are satisfied the man is here as a tourist and he is allowed to enter the country. But they have advised him to lighten his load for next time.
It's a good idea. Believe me, I tried to. It's just, I don't know. I never know what I'm going to run into. I might run into a beautiful forest where I can camp. So why not have, you know, all the food that I need and like here, the camping mat and yoga mat to sleep on or whatever. I mean, better to have than, excuse me, what the guy on the survival show, he said it, better to have and not need rather than not have and need or something like that. So.
And the passenger wants to make one thing clear.
I'm not like a hoarder or anything. No, everything here would be accounted for. I mean, if I come across some molded jelly beans, yes, I'll throw them out. Believe me, it looks worse than I'm...
He's lucky that he declared all his goods, so there will be no penalty.
If you declare, there is no fine. If you can't bring it in, they'll take it off you and give you like just a notice to say that, but otherwise there's no penalties for doing the right thing.
All is not lost, however, as the passenger decides to pay a holding fee to keep some of his veggies and utensils at the airport, so he can pick them up on his way out of Australia.